Cleopatra, the legendary queen of Egypt, is often remembered for her political cunning and her famous romances. But there is so much more to her story than palace intrigue and alliances. She was, in every sense, a warrior queen, someone who did not shy away from the harsh realities of war. While history often paints her surrounded by luxury and opulence, Cleopatra was also a ruler who understood the importance of being present where it mattered most, on the battlefield, among her soldiers. She didn't simply command from afar or send orders through messengers. Cleopatra stood shoulder to shoulder with her troops, witnessing the chaos and brutality of ancient warfare firsthand. This was not a queen who hid behind stone walls or silk curtains. Instead, she inspired her warriors by sharing their risks, their fears, and their hopes for victory. During the fierce Alexandrian War, Cleopatra was not a passive observer. She was deeply involved in the planning and execution of military strategies, often seen near the front lines, consulting with her generals and making critical decisions that would shape the fate of her kingdom. Her direct involvement in military affairs challenges the traditional image of Cleopatra. She was not only a scholar, a shrewd politician, and a devoted mother, but also a true commander-in-chief who took responsibility for her nation's survival. Cleopatra was unafraid to step into the thick of battle, to smell the smoke, to hear the clash of swords, and to witness the cost of war with her own eyes. This is the real Cleopatra, a complex, powerful, and courageous woman who defied the expectations of her time and the limitations placed upon her by history. Her story is not just one of romance or political maneuvering. It is also a story of war, resilience, and unyielding determination. Cleopatra fought tooth and nail for her people and her crown, leaving behind a legacy of strength and leadership that continues to inspire us today. Cleopatra's Egypt was in turmoil long before the Romans arrived. She ascended to the throne amidst internal division, co-ruling with her young brother, Ptolemy XIII. The court was filled with ambitious advisors who saw Ptolemy as a puppet. Cleopatra, intelligent and independent, refused to be sidelined. This clash led to a civil war, forcing Cleopatra to gather her own army. She was a charismatic leader, raising a formidable force to reclaim her throne. The civil war was the perfect opportunity for Rome to intervene. The Romans, expanding their influence, saw Egypt's wealth as a prize. The conflict was about more than who would rule Egypt. It was about its independence. Into this chaos, Julius Caesar would soon arrive. Cleopatra's struggle was not just against her brother, but against the encroaching power of Rome. Julius Caesar's arrival in Alexandria in 48 BC marked not just a turning point for Egypt, but for the entire Roman world. The city, a glittering jewel of the Mediterranean, was in turmoil, its fate hanging in the balance as two siblings vied for the throne. Caesar, fresh from the chaos of civil war, stepped into a world of intrigue, ambition, and danger. Caesar had come in pursuit of his rival Pompey, only to be greeted by a gruesome sight. Pompey had been assassinated on the orders of Ptolemy's advisors, a desperate attempt to win Caesar's favor. Instead, Caesar was horrified and deeply offended by this act of treachery. Rather than leaving, Caesar chose to stay, determined to mediate the bitter dispute between the young Ptolemy III and his sister Cleopatra. He saw an opportunity to shape Egypt's future, and perhaps his own. Caesar's presence quickly became a disaster for Ptolemy's court. The Egyptian advisors, who had hoped to manipulate the Roman general, now found themselves trapped, their every move watched by the most powerful man in Rome. Meanwhile, Cleopatra, forced into exile and cut off from power, saw a glimmer of hope. She realized that if she could win Caesar's support, she might reclaim her throne and outmaneuver her brother's advisors. But reaching Caesar was no simple task. Ptolemy's forces guarded the palace closely, and Cleopatra's every move was watched. She needed a plan as daring as it was dangerous, one that would allow her to slip past her brother's guards and present herself to Caesar in secret. After careful plotting, Cleopatra devised a solution that would become legendary. She would risk everything on a single, audacious act, one that would echo through the ages. Under the cover of night, Cleopatra entrusted her fate to a loyal servant. Together, they orchestrated a secret entry into the palace, evading the watchful eyes of Ptolemy's guards. Concealed inside a roll of bedding, Cleopatra was carried through the palace corridors, her heart pounding with anticipation and fear. Every step brought her closer to a meeting that could change her destiny. At last, she was brought before Caesar. Unveiling herself, Cleopatra captivated the Roman general, not just with her beauty, but with her intelligence, courage, and boldness. Caesar, impressed by her daring and wit, shifted his support to Cleopatra. In that moment, the balance of power in Egypt, and perhaps the world, began to change. Cleopatra's gamble paid off. With Caesar's backing, she was restored as Egypt's rightful ruler, her place on the throne secured by her own ingenuity. Her brother's advisors, who had underestimated her resolve, now watched in shock as Cleopatra stood triumphant, a powerful Roman general at her side. Through her daring and determination, Cleopatra not only changed her own fate, but also altered the course of history, forever linking her name with Caesar's in the annals of legend. Cleopatra's plan to reach Caesar was a stroke of genius, a move that would forever change the fate of Egypt. At a time when her throne was threatened and her future uncertain, Cleopatra knew she needed to do something extraordinary to gain the upper hand. She enlisted a trusted merchant, Apollodorus, to smuggle her into the palace. Apollodorus was not just a loyal ally, but also a man of great resourcefulness, willing to risk everything for his queen. Hidden inside a roll of bedding, Cleopatra was carried through enemy lines, her fate hanging in the balance with every step. The palace was crawling with guards loyal to her brother, and discovery would have meant certain death. Once inside Caesar's chambers, she emerged, captivating him with her audacity. The sight of the young queen, unbowed and fearless, left a lasting impression on the Roman general. Caesar, impressed by her boldness and wit, shifted his support to her. He saw in Cleopatra not just a political pawn, but a leader with vision and courage. This act of bravery changed the dynamic of the conflict. Cleopatra's daring gamble forced everyone to reconsider their loyalties and alliances. Cleopatra's gamble paid off, proving her as the rightful ruler. Her enemies were left stunned by her ingenuity and determination. Her brother's advisors underestimated her, and she gained a powerful ally in Caesar. Together, they formed a partnership that would shape the destiny of Egypt and Rome. Cleopatra's daring act changed the course of history. Her courage in the face of danger became legendary, inspiring generations to come. She was not just a claimant to the throne, but a capable and resilient partner in war, leading her people with strength and wisdom during times of crisis. Her presence alongside Caesar showed her as a leader, not a figurehead. She was involved in every decision, every strategy, and every negotiation. Cleopatra's intelligence and courage won Caesar's support, and together they forged an alliance that would echo through the ages. Her story is a testament to her incredible resilience and intelligence. Against all odds, she rose above her challenges and claimed her place in history. Cleopatra's legacy is one of courage, strategy, and a daring alliance, an enduring reminder of what true leadership looks like. Caesar's support for Cleopatra enraged Ptolemy's court. General Achillas attacked Caesar's small force, beginning the Alexandrian War. Caesar and Cleopatra were besieged in the royal quarter, heavily outnumbered. The city became a deadly urban battlefield. Cleopatra was at the heart of the defense, providing crucial intelligence. Her knowledge of the city and its people was invaluable. She helped organize supplies and participated in strategic councils. The siege forged a powerful bond between her and Caesar. Cleopatra proved her worth with action under fire. The siege was a struggle for survival, but Cleopatra did not waver. Her leadership and courage inspired immense loyalty among her followers. Cleopatra was more than an advisor during the Alexandrian War. She was an active commander, maintaining order and morale. Her authority was crucial in uniting Roman soldiers and Egyptian guards. Cleopatra's strategic mind helped plan counterattacks and sorties. Her bravery inspired loyalty among her soldiers. She was a leader who shared their risks, boosting morale. Cleopatra managed the logistics of the defense, organizing supplies. Her role was critical to military success. Cleopatra was a competent administrator and quartermaster. She was a queen at war, leading by example. Cleopatra's story is one of courage, strategy, and leadership. The tide of the war turned with a relief force led by Mithridates. Caesar seized the opportunity to break the siege. He combined forces with his reinforcements, becoming the attacker. The climactic battle took place near the Nile River. Ptolemy's army, confident in its numbers, faced Caesar in open battle. Caesar's experienced legions crushed the Egyptian army. Ptolemy drowned while fleeing, marking the end of the civil war. Caesar returned to Alexandria as the undisputed conqueror. Cleopatra's gamble had paid off, securing her throne. She was declared the sole ruler of Egypt with real power. Cleopatra's courage and strategy made her the undisputed queen of Egypt. With her throne secured, Cleopatra's relationship with Caesar deepened. They took a luxurious cruise down the Nile, a political statement. Cleopatra gave birth to Caesar's child, Caesarion, a link between Egypt and Rome. Her influence extended to Rome, causing a sensation and scandal. Cleopatra's presence in Rome was seen as a threat to Roman traditions. Caesar's assassination shattered her plans, forcing her to flee. Her dream of a shared empire was dead, but Cleopatra was a survivor. She had secured her throne through one civil war and would navigate another. Cleopatra's legacy was cemented as a queen who captivated Caesar. Her story is one of resilience, intelligence, and a daring alliance. Cleopatra's legacy is one of courage, strategy, and leadership. Cleopatra's story continued with Mark Antony, another powerful Roman. Her defiance during the Alexandrian War defines her character. Cleopatra was a master strategist and courageous leader. She was not a passive pawn, but a player in her own right. Often portrayed as a tragic heroine, Cleopatra was a brilliant political and military mind. Her story is a testament to her incredible resilience and intelligence. Cleopatra was the last active pharaoh of Egypt, marking the end of the Hellenistic age. Her struggle with Rome was a clash of civilizations. The real Cleopatra was a complex and powerful woman. Her story is a powerful reminder of incredible historical figures. Cleopatra fought for her kingdom until the very end.